So now going back to the phone call, right? She called you and you didn't feel like you could pick up.
Yeah, I really didn't. I mean, you just said that I passed the test, but at the time I felt like she would be kind of concerned about me, and I just really didn't want to tell her that because she knew I had the test on Tuesday.
Okay. So, I can understand those feelings of being worried to have that conversation with her. But I think also when we think about perhaps not answering could potentially make her sort of escalated in her worry rather than just answering and sort of saying, I don't feel the best about it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
No, and that's totally fine. You have a lot on your mind too. So I think just taking a moment and, because down the line, right, if we keep not answering, your parents aren't in state. So it's going to eventually sort of turn into more calls and more calls.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's really going to stress you out even more, right? So maybe we can just, next time she calls, maybe even if you don't feel like you can answer like on the phone, maybe just give a text. And whether you're busy or not, just being like, oh, I'm at the bank right now, or I'm somewhere, I'll call you back later,
Okay.
So then she has that sort of peace of mind that, my daughter's safe, we're good to go that way. And then you kind of have that time to breathe where you can, take a minute to collect your thoughts. And, if it even feels comfortable to you, maybe write a script to be like, I was feeling this, this, and this, Mom. Or if you don't want to talk about it at all, you can make sort of a script to deflect even, and just being like, oh yeah, I had it, it was fine. And just opening the communication a little bit for her. And also, I feel like that'll benefit you as well.
What
Do you
if
think
I
so?
say that it's fine and then she asks me the grade I got? What would you say?
Yeah, well, I think being honest is important as well, because at the end of the day, you said she gets your report card, right? She sees those grades, so I think, lying will really hurt your relationship with her. So being honest, but let's take a second. What do you think she would say if you told her, I got a C?
She would probably be like, Andy, what happened? You told me that you'd been trying a little harder. And I really don't think that I can take her being disappointed in me on top of me being disappointed in myself. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like she would tell my dad, and then he would probably call me and probably say the same thing, like, okay, Andy, what's going on?
Okay. Well, is there any way that you can change that conversation when you want? Is there any alternate way it could go? Because you've said in the past she has been, supportive of you, and not in a way that she's just pushing you for A's sake. She really wants you to do well for your own sake. So what's another way the conversation could potentially go?
She might tell me that maybe I should take a break over the summer instead of trying to retake some classes. I think she might say that I should take a break.
Yeah, I think that's another possibility, right? I think also, being honest with her when you feel ready to have the conversation. I know you said in the past that you tend to shut down during those conversations, and she's sort of saying, oh, what happened? I thought you were going to try, and you're kind of just, silently like, yeah. And so do you think maybe us in session practicing having that conversation would help you at all?
Oh, Sure. I mean, I might be a little scared to try, but sure.
Yeah. So let's try it. First, I will be your mom.
Okay.
And you be you. And then, you know, if you're struggling a bit, maybe we can flip the script and I'll
Okay.
try to be Andy and you try to be your mom.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Mom.
I know you said you had that test. You know, how did it go?
I mean, I got a C, but it was a C plus.
Okay. You know, I heard that you said you've been trying, and the fact that you got a passing grade is really awesome.
Oh, yay. Well, that means a lot.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay if I share that news with your father?
As long as if he says something bad about it, you don't tell me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know, let's keep it between us for now then.
Okay.
You know, and just keep taking care of yourself and keep being in touch with me. I'm really glad you answered the phone. I feel really, you know, loved and cared for.
Oh, well, thanks. That means a lot.
All right. Love you, sweetie.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Whew.
Yeah, I know. You did really good. And I
Thanks.
mean, I don't know your mother personally, but from all the things you've shared with me, I feel at least the end of the phone call would end that way, with her feeling really, you know, happy she heard your voice. And whether you felt the news was positive or negative, that she just wants to know that you're going to keep in contact with her. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I didn't think about it that way. I just kind of assumed that she was going to be disappointed in me because that's how I feel.
Yeah, and so this is what I was going to say about the opposite way. For me being Andy, the things that I would sort of say would be, you know, Mom, I'm under a lot of pressure right now, and it's not necessarily you or Dad. I think the biggest pressure is coming from myself, and that I want to do a good job and that I want to be a good student, get good grades, you know, and when I feel like I'm not meeting those things, it's really hard for me to admit that to myself and to admit that to you guys. I think that's like an accurate
Yeah.
portrayal of how you're feeling or what
That's
you'd say.
exactly how I feel, actually.
It's a really, you know, rough time. This is your first time living away from home.
Yeah.
And, you know, college can be really rough. I know this is finals week.
Yeah. Not looking forward to it.
So, what are some other ways you have been, you know, coping recently with your feelings of
I
sort of?
mean, to be honest with you, please don't judge me. I just kind of go to bed. Like, I'll just go to bed and I'll just be on TikTok because I really can't be present in my life right now with everything going like this. I guess I'm stuck because I'm wondering, like, why can't I get it together? Because in high school, I took AP classes, I took college classes, all my teachers thought I was so smart. Then I get to college, and yes, I kind of expect it to be difficult, but it's really hard. And I've tried to ask my professors for help outside of class. They told me to go to tutoring. It feels like they don't care. And then I end up not going to tutoring because I feel like I should be able to figure it out. So then with all that stuff going on in my mind, and then I see my parents calling me, I'm just like, none of it exists. I'm just going to be on TikTok and not think about it. And then I don't study. And then I know I didn't study, so I don't go to class, and it just...
I gotcha. It's a lot to feel and a lot to take in. I totally understand. Let's talk about, are there any classes that you have been enjoying that don't feel as much of a chore to go to?
I really like creative writing class, but that class is like at 8 a.m.
Okay. So is it hard for you to get up?
It's hard for me to get up because it takes like a whole speech for me to get up, and then I'm running late, and then I usually think, if I'm late, I might as well not go. But my teacher never says anything when I'm late. She seems happy to see me, and she says that she really likes my writing.
Okay, so this is really great. I can see you're already sort of challenging your own negative beliefs within yourself without me prompting you. So like you said, you know, sometimes you get that thought, oh, I'm late, it's not worth going, right? And then you just told me, you know, it doesn't seem like my teacher minds if I'm late, and she seems happy to see me. So that's so really good. I see, you know, you're not giving yourself enough credit, I think, for the things you are doing. I think, you know, as hard as it sounds, maybe trying to start your day a little earlier, but then giving yourself that time, giving yourself time for the speech to get out of bed, giving yourself time to be like, you know what, if I want to sit on TikTok for a few minutes in the morning, you know, I can do that, but just giving yourself that time to not have that any other worries, instead of sort of being like, oh, I know I should be doing something else, but I'm scrolling instead. It's always that kind of anxious feeling at the same time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So just like making a designated time for you to just like either psych yourself up and prepare, or calm yourself down like we talked about the other time before bed, and just having moments where you're not thinking about school, not thinking about your parents, but just having sort of a relaxing time for yourself.
Can I say something?
Sure.
What if I get stuck? Because I noticed that, I know you just asked me about a class that I like, but the class that's the hardest for me is calculus. I tried to study for that last week too, and I just kind of got into like a panic attack and just kept like cycling through it. So what if that happens? Because by the time that was over, it was like 8 o'clock, and I just kind of lost all the motivation I had to study, because it took a lot of energy. I know that sounds so stupid to say, like, took energy to have a panic attack, but
it doesn't sound stupid at all.
I normally want to go to bed after that. So
honestly, your body is in kind of fight or flight mode when you're in those panic attacks, and it does take a lot of energy out of you. So definitely not stupid. I think, is there anyone in that class you're either semi-close to, or someone you sit near when you do get to class often, or someone you think would be someone you'd want to talk to that you could study with?
my roommate's friend, who normally comes over, I feel like I'm pretty good friends with her. She's in that class too, but we don't really sit together.
Okay, so how about as sort of a homework, we try to reach out to her and say, you know, calculus has been a little iffy for me, like, would you mind if we could study together, or one of those things? Because I feel, at least me personally, if there's kind of someone else there, even if it's not the perfect studying environment, it is going to at least get you in that mode of, I'm around the material and I'm, you know, relatively calm because there's another person.
Okay. What if I'm holding her bag and she thinks I'm stupid too?
So I'd honestly try to do your thought diary and just think some of the reasons against those thoughts.
Yeah.
You said
She's
she
never
seemed
complained
pretty
about
nice.
it before. I mean, yeah, but like I feel like I'm the only one struggling, and I feel like that kind of, I don't know. I'll reach out to her. I'm just afraid that she's gonna think I'm stupid like everybody else.
Well, I guess in the instance, in the hypothetical world where she does think that of you, she would probably not give some excuse, right? So then maybe we don't have to follow through on that route. We can, you know, choose a different partner, or even, you know, if you don't feel comfortable with anyone in the class, we can try to go to that tutoring, because those, I know you said you didn't love the idea.
I just feel like I'm stupid if I go in there. Like, I don't know, and I know that it's dumb because, like, I don't feel that way about other people when they tell me to go to tutoring. I feel like they're pretty studious and responsible, but if I go, I don't know, maybe it's because I was the tutor back at my high school. I don't know.
Did you ever think that, back when you were tutoring in high school, did you ever feel that way towards any of the students you were tutoring?
No, I thought it was really fun to tutor.
Yeah. So do you think that most of the tutors at your school would think like you did, or do you think?
I don't know. Maybe they would think like me. I haven't really talked to anyone except my roommate, so I don't know. I think it kind of backfired, and instead of making me feel safer, it kind of just made me feel more intimidated to talk to anybody at the university.
More isolated.
Yeah, so now I guess in my mind, I just assume that everybody always, like, already thinks that I'm a certain way.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I, was in college and there were things that I wasn't getting, or further along in my career when I was teaching and when I felt like there were students who were struggling, I would always recommend tutoring just because, it really helped me when I was younger. And I feel like at the end of the day, you said a lot of your anxiety around not going to classes is because you're not going because you're not studying.
Yeah.
And so if we tackle the not studying part, either, with a peer, which might be more comfortable because then you don't have to go to the whole center, or if you're a little bit anxious about the one-on-one peer interaction about what they're thinking of you, going into the tutoring session. Because at the end of the day, those tutors are there for you to make use of, and they're going to be out of a job if nobody comes.
I guess
They
that's
think
true.
think they're going to think they're stupid.